Where's she going? She going to get biscuit.
Okay, we're live. Hey guys, so thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be doing the rough-in framing, so I'm really excited to get moving on that. I didn't show you the bottom parts, but I'm going to put Streamline Nikki in here so you can show you where we started out. It's just too tough to bring the cameras down there and stuff, but let me get on my chat, make sure anybody's in here. Leave comments if you can, give me a like on this video, it definitely helps get things out. And as we get technically better here, I'll have some better, hopefully live streams that we can really dive into things. But the rough-in stages are always the most difficult parts. It's something that just takes some time to get everything together, try to come up with your plan. And there we go. Okay, so we are live. All right, so we got 14 guys there. Okay, so so looking at, let me shrink myself down here. I don't need to be that big. So if you've been following around with the other live streams, we basically demoed this entire bathroom all the way down to the studs. So if this is something that you're considering doing, definitely follow along, subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot of live streams on this. I feel it was just important to really show what's really entails everything from start to finish on this. And then I'll have some polished videos, obviously, of all of this stuff, so that you can, really kind of review things and get quickly to them. But don't forget, if you're watching this later on, use those little, just speed up the bar, pass through some of this stuff. I will eventually get some timestamps in here so you don't miss some of the important parts. But use the tools here. I mean, you can just pretty much zoom past to a different section. But we're going to finish off the rest of this plumbing. Babe, you want to go down into the basement? And,
okay.
Yeah, so she's going to go down into the basement, show you where we started out. Basically, I wanted to just redo the entire stack. The way we're going to be rearranging this bathroom, it made no sense trying to adapt to the existing setup. So this is the new stack. It's going down in the terracotta right there. I had to bust up around the concrete to do that. What I'm going to do is use some hydraulic cement and basically cement that into that existing terracotta. It would have been ideal, obviously, to have a great fitting around there, but it's not bad. It's just, it would take an enormous amount of preparation to get a furnico around it, and really hydraulic cement has been used for all of the fittings for terracotta, and I'm going to feel comfortable with that once we get it in there. But, if you had to, this is just some of the things you have to do in some of these old homes to get it new. But we have a new 3-inch stack. Obviously got my clean out there, and then just running a 3-inch stack. We're only running one bathroom, so there's really no need for 4-inch piping. As you can see, I have my 45-degree elbows creating a long sweep going up into the wall cavity up above. This is always a challenging part. Every home is a little bit different when it comes to getting in there. You can actually even see the main line for the service panel coming through the underneath of there. So you got to be careful with your Sawzall in these tight areas. But those long sweep using 245s usually work pretty well to make those bends easily. I could have just actually used a standard 90 right there, but I really wanted to make sure I'm away from that service line coming into the home there. So, babe, you want to go up to the second floor just to show what's going on there? Oh, there's our dog. Our dogs. They look so happy to be here. And then this is the foyer room. So this is nice. I mean, I know a lot of you are probably just renovating a bathroom and you're not gutting anything downstairs, but this is the 3-inch stack going up. And then this is where we're going to take it live from here and go over a couple of things. But basically right now I have 2 T's here, or 2 Y's. One is a 2-inch Y. It's going to go to our Vanity. And I'll explain here shortly why we're doing it this way and using a 2-inch drain line for that. And then the other Y is for the tub. So you only need 1.5 inch drain line for the tub. So we're going to bring that out. And as you can see, right above that is going to be our T for our toilet supply. So as you can see, everything that is flowing into this waste stack is all in a line with another. Nothing is going to be a wet vent, meaning that nothing's going to be drained. I mean, things are draining in over top of each other, but we're going to have all dry vents for everything. So making sure that your T's are basically below that main toilet supply is going to make sure you know, that we're not making the toilet a wet vent in any fashion. Not that you can't do that. Plumbing code is kind of, I mean, there's universal plumbing code and international plumbing code, and you can there's a lot of different places that adopt things differently. You have to kind of go by your own local municipality and do it the way they want you to do it. But in this particular situation, this is the way I'm going to do it. This is really the ideal way, is to be able to open up that wall and stack it rather than going off of a toilet supply connecting to all the rest of your fixtures. But I'll get inside here and kind of show you exactly what we're going to be doing and why we're kind of refinagling things here. All right, we're good, babe. Thanks.
Hang up.
Okay, so get myself off of here, and then I want to make sure you guys can see me in here. So, you know, this camera is, I was expecting it to be a little bit better than what it is. But we should be able to see everything that we're going to be doing right here, and you should be able to hear me as well. So be sure to leave any comments, questions you have. Be happy to answer them later on here. Let me see. Yeah, there is no chat. I thought it was too, but it must have been that must have been in the studio. I'm betting that was the studio that I was looking at. Okay, so just to explain what we're doing here, basically, can you make sure that
You want me to make sure you're centered?
yeah, or that, yeah, you can move it around and go back to the plumbing area. Okay. All right, so the real layout of the way this is going to go, and the reason that I wanted to run a whole new stack up, is that we're basically going to have the tub on this back wall. Main reason is because I added this window, and this window creates a real problem with the layout of the bathroom. So we're going to have the tub on this side. If you remember, before the toilet used to be on this side of the room, but we're going to make this all of the tub. We're going to center the toilet in front of the window, okay? And then we're going to have the vanity here on the left. So vanity, toilet, tub. Pretty normal scenario. And like I said, we already have kind of the fittings set up to bring them up through the floor. So we're going to have 1.5 inch drain for my tub, and then we're going to run 2 inch. And the reason I'm doing 2 inch, and I'll probably repeat myself here again, is my vanity is going to be right here, is that the universal plumbing code, if I can get my drain within 5 feet of my vent stack, then I can use 2 inch and get 5 feet. So I don't have to run a separate vent coming up and all around the entire bathroom. So I don't have to go through cutting all of these studs and rerouting my my vent. I can just go right up through the floor here. So, all right, I might repeat myself again, but yeah, babe, if you want to just point it down to where I'm working, and then hopefully they can see what I'm doing.
Check.
What's that?
I said I'll come back in and check once you start. Make sure. We have it.
You on there? Okay. Okay, so we got our stack up to our bathroom floor here. Now we're going to run and install our toilet supply. So what I like to use for toilets are these closet bends. So this is a 4-inch fitting that goes down to 3-inch, and it's a 90. So it works really great for toilets because I'm able to get just a standard closet flange, and it slides right into it. And I can glue that in after I do all of my tile and all of my waterproofing. So I really like that aspect of it. And you're not reducing the size of the inner side of the pipe by doing this. It's actually it has a little bit of a bigger flow there. So it also has a kind of a nice extension up here too. So this can be extended up through the floor. I could seal around it, and then when I tile around it, I just can put that fitting right in. So it's pretty nice when it comes to that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this glued. I kind of have everything a little bit dry fitted here so that I can kind of quickly do this. So we're going to go ahead and prime our fittings. And this purple primer can get really messy real quickly, so you don't want to get this on stuff that you don't want to be able to not be able to remove. So be careful with how you're dealing with it. So you just got to prime all these fittings, and then we're going to go ahead and glue this bottom port in. You always want to glue the fitting in the pipe. Okay, let's hold that for a couple seconds. Okay, I'll go ahead and prime this as well. Okay, so got that all primed. Now the trick here is trying to get this to all be glued in, and this all at the right angle, because basically I'm just bringing this straight over to, so let me just dry fit this again. I'll get a board underneath here. Hold this into place. Go ahead and glue the fittings that we know aren't going to be affected with the angle. So just glue this Let's flange on here. That over. So this is 13 inches. Because we're going to basically have 1/2 inch drywall, and then we're going to have tile as well. So we would actually want to make this a little bit more than 12 inches. Typically if you just had regular drywall, 1/2 inch drywall, you can just go 12 inches off of the rough-in framing, and you'll have about a 1/2 inch gap behind your toilet. But in this scenario, we're going to be putting tile as well, so I want to give myself a little bit of room. So we'll make this about 13 inches to the center of my flange here. All right, so then, now that we got that established, I think this needs to be lowered slightly. Okay, so then we want to basically glue this at the same time so that we have the right angle and staying in the right place. You don't have a whole lot of time when you put this stuff together. It's a little bit more than ABS glue, but still got about 30 seconds and it's going to be kind of where it's at. Make sure that's level. Let's see where we're at. 12 3/4, good enough for me. That'll be fine. Again, and then you just want to make sure that you're getting a good pitch, 1/4 inch per foot. That's what you want to have. So I have a little bit more than that. Read the line on here. Yeah, we're good. Okay. That's all glued in. Let's get a strap on this. Keep that from moving. That will work out well. So then when you see here, once I get my plywood on there, I'm gonna have probably about an inch of this sticking outside the floor, and then I could just cut that flush once I get the tile in, and then just basically anchor that to my floor.
I gotta switch memory cards.
All right, so then we're gonna go about 21 inches on our we'll just go 20. So we'll go ahead and get our vent stack, our vent stack, or our waste stack, I should say, for our vanity. So we're about 20 inches. So we'll just make sure that we get our 1/4 inch per foot slope here. So I'm just going to mark the front of my studs so I know where I need to drill my holes. And so, like I said, when I bring this up, you know, we're 5 foot. So 5 foot is the maximum distance to my vent. And my vent is going to be right here that we're going to connect up into my 3-inch. So that works out great. I believe it's the IPC allows you to go 8 foot. So you could actually have used 1.5 inches in this scenario. But we're going to go 2-inch just to make sure that there's never any issues with the venting. And again, the main reason I'm doing this is because then I don't have to run my dry vent going up, and I don't have to bring it and tie it back in over here. I can just literally bring it from here over, and it's a lot easier to do all of the plumbing work over here. All right, so we're going to cut our holes for 2-inch pipe. So we got, I think this is 2 3/4, 2.5, 2 5/8, 2 5/8 inch holes. So I'm going to try to make this into the center of our studs. kit. Let's see where this needs to be. Nope, actually that's not the right fitting. Almost forgot. So what we want to do here is a T 2" to 1.5 inches for our vent. So this is where our vent is going to basically end. And then, so let's measure down into the hub of our 2" down here. Looks like we got 40. So 40 1/8. So this will work here. So let's go ahead and glue this coupling into place. Might as well go ahead and glue this fitting. Alright, so I need 40 1/8 for a riser pipe. Actually a little too much. A little bit more off of this. so then we got a 90 here. This is, so you got 12 and a half. So just to be sure here, so we're going to have, our top is going to be 32. Okay, and then we're going to center our toilet in between the window because I think that's the only way it's going to look good. So we got basically 21 inches on the right side of the toilet to the tub. Might as well match that to this side as well, so 21 inches. And we're going to have a 30-inch vanity whereabouts. So yeah, that'll work out good. So we'll be at about a 15 or 16-inch center here on the vanity. As long as with them in a couple of inches of the center, that should be fine. But just to remeasure here, 5 foot to my vent. So that's where I'm at. It's about 5 foot. So let's just bring this out. I think to get a 10-inch. Let's get like an 11 1/4 inch piece, and then we can just use a standard quarter bend for our inlet, and then we'll reduce this down for our fittings for the vanity. Is the angle all right on that, or?
Where'd you plug in the battery?
No, it's down the center. It's on the kitchen table.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know these are a little bit slower than my normal videos, obviously, but yeah, I just think it's important somewhat to show what's going on. Let me make sure my live stream is working here. Okay, yeah, it's working here. So, all right, so Nicole DeCreblo, you're willing to teach us these skills. You bet. No problem, Nicole. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So 12 and a half inches from wall. What do you mean, Ryan? 12 and a half? No, well, yeah, it's going to be basically 12 and a half for the center of my toilet, basically because I'm going to have some backer board and then my tile. So really my tile thickness is going to be about 1 inch on that wall, so I want to have a little bit more room for that. Yeah, Max. Yeah, it'll be fine. Most of the time, we're gonna put nail guards on here, so yeah, it's not gonna be a problem putting in that, putting any holes into the studs vertically like that. You just have to reinforce them. You know, I'll be putting those kick plates on it. So, yeah. All
You want to eat out? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and prime our fittings here. make sure it's saying plumb. I'll make sure that that fitting's sitting right. Okay. All right, so that's our vanity drain. And now we'll go ahead and get our tub in. So this guy, my drain, so this is a 6-foot wall, or basically 6'5" bathroom. Actually a little bit longer than that, 6'4". So in order to encapsulate the tub, I'm gonna have to build out some walls on either side of this. I usually like to do it on both sides, kind of makes it look a little bit more uniform. So there's gonna be basically a 9-inch wall here, 9-inch wall bump out on this side in order to have my tub centered in the center. So my drain location for my tub is 9 inches from the center of my hole of my tub drain back. So that needs to have, you know, this joist here we're going to be reinforcing because this joist is already pretty compromised over here, so I'm not really concerned about it. So, but basically you want to make sure that your tub drain is somewhere within the right area, so that when I connect my P-trap, what I normally like to do, since I have all of this opened up underneath it here, is set my tub with the drain assembly and then connect the P-trap and everything else after I have the tub set in. So all I'm going to be doing right now is getting a T port and having my vents set up, and then I'll be connecting my P-trap after the tub is in. But I obviously want to just make sure that I'm somewhere within center. Basically we're going to need 16 inches off this back wall. That's exactly where that pipe is sitting. So basically just need a straight sanitary T coming out this way, and then I can pick up my P-trap to connect to it. So let's just make sure where we're at here. So if I have my T, this is a 2 by 7.5 inch deep stud bay, because what you want to do is you want to make sure you have enough room for your P-trap. So let's get a P-trap, make sure that we don't have it too low in the floor. Okay, so this is a combo T. Basically, you can see this long sweep coming in. So this is going to be coming out of my wall. This is going to be my P-trap for my tub. Now I'm not going to glue this section. All I'm going to do is get this T in the area that I want it to be. So all I'm paying attention to is to make sure that my P-trap, you know, doesn't hit the drywall, or there's enough room within the stud base. So, you know, obviously trying to aim for center or so would probably, well, not center, you know, just give yourself about 1 inch from the bottom of your joist. So, you know, looking at the top of this fitting, probably about 3 inches down below. You just don't want to make sure that the drywall is not resting against the P-trap. All right, so we got 3 inches down below fitting. So let's see what this is. Looks like about 10.5 inches should work. So basically what you're looking for is this going to be my finished product basically when I connect to the tub. So I want to have a little bit of a riser pipe here. Now when you stick your tub in, that T for coming over to your tub area, are you on me?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to be able to make sure that that T kind of extends in. So you don't want this to be, you know, too far above the floor. You really kind of want to have this sunken down into the floor. So that's really what I'm trying to pay attention to here on this T, is make sure that I'm not too high and I'm not too low. So looking at this, you know, I might as well just cut a little bit more down, because I'm about, you know, looking at my plywood here, I'm about 1 inch below. I like to be, you know, a couple inches below the surface of my floor so that I can make sure that I can connect this to my tub drain easily. So let me just take another 1.5 inches off of this. So that's going in here. So looking at my floor, yeah, I'm a few inches down below. That should work out good. And I'm not too far down below my joist. So that'll work out well. So let's go ahead and prime and glue this into place. Okay, so then just to make sure that I'm kind of in line where I need to be, let's go ahead and just kind of dry fit that so I have reference. And like I said, I'm going to be about 16 inches to the center of my drain area. Just hold that, make sure that stays connected. Okay, so then again, we're gonna just have that dry fitted like that. We'll connect that once we actually get the tub together. So now we can go ahead and put our vents together. So let's just bring this up. I don't know, it could be anything. We'll go 4 foot. Yeah, 4 foot. Should be fine. Stack here. Okay, so then now we have a T. Now you can see I have this upside down because this is gonna be basically a drain from my vent. So you always want to have your fittings the opposite direction so it can drain. So we'll put that on this side and we'll connect it into this drain. So we're gonna need a 90. Actually, you know what? I think I could work, and I could do this one that way. Puzzle. That should work. All right, so let's measure this. It's about 22 inches. Okay, so go ahead and glue kind of this all together here. Just make sure you get it on all the fittings. Work. All right, so then for this one, just to keep it all in line with another, we'll just, again, just bring this upside down and then connect our vent in this way. So let's get a random piece for that. Doesn't have to be anything specific. Let's see what this is. 59. Back here. Screw that. Sorry. Okay, so now I could go up back through, maybe I will do that. Yeah, probably will. I'll probably jog it and bring it up through that existing vent up there because I don't really want to cut more of my last joist out there. Yeah, that's probably best to jog it. So I'm going to have to cut through here. So when you do these top plates and you're cutting stuff like this, you're going to have to get some reinforcement plates on the top. I don't have them today, but I'll grab some of them. They're basically like 30 or 24 inch spans, so you go about 12 inches on either side of the cut. So I'm going to cut this and go up through the top. Ceiling joist, not really that big of a deal. especially when it's kind of already supported there. But yeah, you want to kind of reinforce these top blocks. So I'm going to do that, and we'll jog that vent over. You want to, I don't know if there's anybody even on. Got 4 people on here. Spanzazzo, thanks, man. Yes, I did get a haircut. Yeah, Mike, thanks for joining me. Kyle, thanks so much. Yeah, so, all right, if you guys want to ask anything there, let me know. I mean, each situation is a little bit different, but, you know, one thing about running a new stack down, I'm able to get everything with a dry vent. Much better than having any type of wet vent. Wet vent meaning you got another fixture going into the same pipe that is going to the other one. So, you know, venting, you always need air to be able to go through, but the biggest thing about venting is trying to neutralize the pressures within your piping. So, you know, each fixture has its own trap holding water. So, you know, you have a trap and you got this full of water, and basically if your pressure isn't, if another fixture is asking for air and the pressure is unbalanced, what will happen is you'll dry out your vent and then sewer gas can come into your home. So really venting is all about neutralizing the pressure in your pipes, and then obviously you need water for it to siphon through. So it's really nice being able to run a new stack in, having separate vents for each fixture, and you know that all your pressures are going to be fine, and you know, have a long lasting bathroom. But it is kind of crazy, all these old bathrooms, majority of the stuff, you know, everything was just run into 1 3-inch pipe right next to the toilet. You know, it's functioned, I guess, just as pretty well for 50, 60 years, but it has been, you know, kind of prone to clogging and different things like that. So, all right, let me go ahead and.
How high up are you going? I can point the camera.
Yeah, pretty. I mean.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a sponge in this so I don't get debris down into my new pipe here. We'll get this clear of our joist here. 50 inches. Clear that. Finish the, I think I need a 90 up here. Yeah, I'm gonna need a 90. I'll have, no, it's gonna have to be good for now. I'll have to grab some more fittings to be able to get that through there. But maybe I'll FaceTime you again so they can get a close-up shot.
Yeah. Just gonna get a shot of the work, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna call Nikki so you guys can get a close-up shot of what's going on there. But basically, I need a couple more 90s to get up through my vent. I guess you guys can't even see that over there, can you? Let me see here. Yeah, I guess not really. Well, anyway, there's an existing roof vent over here that I need to try to get up through, and I don't have enough 90s to do it. So let me call her in so you can see stuff here. Okay, so there it is. Alright, so that's my plumbing stack. So to review, I got a 2-inch pipe coming up on my left-hand side there. And that's going to catch my vanity drain. And the reason I went with 2-inch is so that I can go all the way over and just have a 90 sticking out a quarter bend. And I don't have to have my vent going up the wall and having to come back over. So this saves a little bit of time just running it through that wall that way. But UPC is requiring it to be within 5 feet. So you need that vent, that T right there, to be within 5 feet of where that outlet is for the vanity. So that's why I went 2-inch on there. And I reduced it down to 1.5 inches, and then you can see I tied it right back into the main vent stack. So the vanity has its own vent, and then you go over to the next side is where the tub is. So we're looking at the Y coming through the vent for that, coming down, and then there's a long, go down. Yeah, there's a long, actually I don't even know if they can hear me. I just realized that. Sorry about that. You probably can't even hear me. I didn't even have the microphone. Let me see if there's anybody on here first. Is this being recorded? Garrison, yes, it'll be live afterwards. Yeah, it's live now, and it will be on the channel afterwards. So anyways, I don't know if you heard me or not on that, but we'll go through it again. So my toilet flange, starting out with the toilet, babe. So that is a 4-inch by 3-inch closet flange elbow. So it's 4-inch at the top, and it reduces down to 3-inch. And those are great because then you can get these type of flanges that you can just fit right inside of that 4-inch. And basically I do that after I do the tile. So I do all the tile, all the waterproofing, and then I slip that flange in over top of the tile, and it really makes a nice seal. So I have that directly over to my main stack, and then that has its own vent going directly up. So everything above the toilet is all dry, so everything is vented on its own dry vent. Nothing is being wet vented here, which is really ideal for pressures and making things sure that things drain properly. But I went with the 2-inch on my vanity because I was so far away from the main stack. So if you go 2-inch, you can go over 5 feet to where your inlet for your vanity is to that T. That's the vent area for it. So I have basically a 2x2 by 1.5 inch reducer. So I'm reducing down to 1.5 inch, going up and tying that into my vent. Always put your fittings upside down basically for the vent. This is just so that if water gets in there, it can drain properly. Same thing, this is basically the tub drain, has its own vent going above there. And then this will go up through the roof. I ran out of fittings. I don't know what, I need a couple more fittings to get it up through that existing pipe flange there. I am going to redo the pipe flange because it was originally 4-inch and it was around cast iron. And a lot of people have, really gooped it up over the years. And I'm sure that was a lot. That was probably me most of the time because I just wanted to have a quick fix. But anyways, going down to my tub drain. So now you can see I have a T combo. This is just 1.5 inch. It's kind of basically a long sweep 90. This kind of just helps, being able to have a little bit more output of it so that I can connect my P-trap. I always connect my P-traps after I install the tub, especially when you have everything exposed like that. That goes down below the toilet connection. So that's important because now I'm not wet venting it. So below the toilet connection, is where it's going in. So everything is in line with another. All the wastes are in the vertical stack, which is really the ideal way to go. So I hope this demonstration's helped out. I know that probably a lot of you are planning on doing a bathroom, probably don't want to get into this extensive of a remodel, but sometimes these 1900s homes, it's just really the best way to go. It really is, because this makes it so much easier to run all of this stuff. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and do the PEX, hopefully get the subfloor down, and then we can really start moving and finishing this thing up. But water supplies are next, and then we got some electrical as well. I always do my plumbing first and then do my electrical last. It's always easy to reroute a wire around somewhere, but you want to do your drains first and then your water supplies. So let me see if anybody's on here real quick. Yeah, so we got a few people on YouTube, a few people on Facebook, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to get some kind of apparatus for me to be able to read all the comments quickly so I can answer some questions. But really I'm just live streaming this so that you can get a real feel for what some of these bathroom remodels and what's entailed and what goes on throughout the whole process. And I figured I'll have some polished videos afterwards that are really going to help speed through things and get to the certain points. But sometimes live streams you could just hop in on here and see what's going on. So all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Subscribe, follow along. You'll get notifications of my live streams. We're probably going to be doing a couple more this week. Take care.